Hi everyone, this is Anil. Welcome to video on ImportSet outbound HTTP requests related list. Let's take a scenario where if an import set is created based on data retrieved using a REST API call, tracking the REST API endpoint can be very useful, especially if you can see it in the import set, because there can be scenarios where if there is any failure in the import set load process, then in order to debug that, understanding that endpoint is very critical. So ServiceNow offers this related list in imports a table called Outbound HTTP Requests, which will help you to see this information. So let's see this in action. Let's trigger a scheduled import and see how the load happens, and then we'll also see how to look at the outbound HTTP request related list. So this is my scheduled import. I'll execute this, and the data source that runs when you execute the scheduled import is data source of type REST integration hub. So let's also look at that. So this is my data source. If you see the data source, it is of type REST integration hub, which means it makes a REST API call to create this import set. If I go to the request action, you can see that uh, in the REST step, you can see the URL that it calls to create the import set. So if you see here, this is the URL that we are calling to create the import set. Now let's look at the import sets. This is the one which just got created. Let's open that. Here you can see there's a tab called Outbound HTTP Request, and if you open this, under URL section, you can see the URL which is invoked. It also tells you the response status and response time. So as I mentioned, this can be very useful when you're trying to debug any data load errors. Thank you for watching. This is Anil.